I like you mentioned, Raymond. I don't go to movies to be told something. I go to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I go. I go for the entertainment. I go for the way it makes you feel. Like this is gonna sound nuts, but well, maybe it doesn't sound nuts. There's a movie that I will. I mean, if I'm ever feeling like I want to step back into a better era for myself. I mean, like if I want to feel good, I stream The Rocketeer. I really enjoy it. There's a movie called The Rocketeer. You should check it out.
What's a Rocketeer?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of history. I'm a huge fan of early Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
L.A. anytime after not like before L.A. turned into what it was. Like L.A. set in the time before World War II, like from the 1910s all the way through the 50s and 60s. Like L.A. has a rich history, and L.A. And The Rocketeer is set in Los Angeles in about 1930 something. Howard Hughes is a character in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it's science fiction. There's a jetpack. So Howard Hughes invents a jetpack, and this test pilot Cliff Secord finds it, and it's an awesome movie. It feels it's very Americana in its feel. It's like it has like a rousing like almost Indiana Jones kind of musical score.
Okay.
It's very nostalgia. It's a very nostalgic feeling movie. And I understand, like people are gonna look. Some people are gonna look at this and say it's two black dudes and a brown dude, and the brown dude is nostalgic for L.A. in 1933, right? And I'm not looking at it at all in terms of how people were treated. That's not what I'm nostalgic for. Okay, it's a world where things were still mysterious, right? I really love the Victorian era, like the time of Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, do you guys remember Teddy Roosevelt, right? The 30
The
something, the
president.
president. Yeah, the guy was a crazy adventurer. Okay, in fact, he
Yeah.
ended up dying because of illnesses that he contracted while adventuring. I think in South America after his presidency.
Dang.
Okay, I mean, like he lived in a different time. I mean, when he went out of office, okay, he went on an extended hunting trip to Africa, right? He brought back a huge number of skin. I mean, like if you go to the Smithsonian, okay, so many of those stuffed animals that are there, he killed them, and
And brought him back.
He's the one who provided the what's it called again? The what's it? Taxidermy. He's the person who provided the material to be taxidermied. Okay, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like that was back then. Being a hunter was a huge thing, right? In those times there were large parts of the world that were still unmapped. You can go up a river in Canada that no one's ever that no Westerners ever been up before. You can discover unknown peoples in South America. You can like
Mm-hmm.
crazy stuff that happened back then, right? And movies like Indiana Jones and The Rocketeer have that feeling of discovery and adventure that that's what I enjoy about these movies in that time period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things were unknown. I love early motoring, right? I mean, the cars that I have, I mean, they feel like early motoring, I mean, like convertibles. Like I mean, I got a convertible Jaguar. It's a convertible Jaguar. It's a classic. It's a classic Jag, and it feels like early Le Mans races.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the time when a car, going 100 miles an hour was like the equivalent of going 250 today. Right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going
Right.
100 miles an hour. You feel like the wheels are going to come off. I mean, like, it's the reason why I like driving old Miatas and old 911s because you feel like they're going to kill you. Right? Modern cars are great, but you can control them in incredible situations.
Yeah.
Jump behind the wheel of an 88 or an 87 911 turbo, and if you turn a corner wrong, that car will fishtail and you'll be dead.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
I love that feeling. I mean, like, of course, I don't push it to that level, but I feel like I'm going a crazy speed, and I'm only going 50. Right? That's
Right.
an enjoyable feeling. The adventure, right? Anyway, so the Rocketeer is like that. I can watch a Rocketeer, and suddenly I'm like in high school again. right? It's that feeling of the world undiscovered before I learned a whole bunch of stuff about the world. Not that I don't enjoy knowing all this stuff, but it's kind of cool to feel that nostalgia, right?
Mm.
And those are great movies, right? They're family friendly movies, right? It's an adventure movie that doesn't that honestly you can take kids of virtually any age movies like that, right? I know back then I knew if I paid for a ticket, I'm going to see a certain thing, right? And they didn't let you down. George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, those guys don't let you down.
No.
Okay, the people who took over for them are.
Mm.
Oh
And
yeah, you're right. It's funny you saying that because I was watching this thing where Michael Bay is making a comeback and he coming back to Transformers.
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
realize they made so many Transformers movies
They're like
without
on
him.
7 or 9. Transformers is like the science fiction version of the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I didn't realize they made that. I didn't realize they made that many of them. And like even like I remember there was like a Beast Wars one because
Well,
Beast Wars, huh?
it's Rise of the Beast. See, the reason why you don't realize it is they don't number them.
Yeah, I mean, but I watched. There was a Beast Wars Transformers
Yeah.
TV show when I was a
Oh yeah, yeah,
kid,
yeah. There was.
and that was one of my favorite ones. And it was like I didn't go see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see it when it was in movie theaters. That should have created some nostalgia. But it's like I inherently just have that in me where it's just like I ain't even paying attention to this no more.
Yeah.
I went and watched the first couple Star Wars. I think the last one I saw was the last night. I went and saw it
Oh, you
at
mean
a
Transformers? You said Star Wars a second ago. Transformers, right?
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Transformers. Like I went and saw all the Transformers leading up to like the last night, the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's
I
two of
went and
them with
saw
him, I think.
Yeah, I went and saw the last night at I forgot how I got into that movie. It was like a special premiere at I think it was like Paramount Studios over off of Melrose. I went and saw that, and that was awesome. And I thought to myself, I was like, dang, they're making a lot of Transformers movies right now. And it was like four of them after that
Yeah,
that I didn't pay
there's a
attention to.
crazy number. The reason why you don't realize it is because when they make these movies, it's almost like they're standalone movies. They're not
Yeah,
they're not extensions. Like one of them was was Bumblebee.
there was a Bumblebee movie.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then I know my son went to go see Transformers 1, and I was like, I ain't about to go watch it. Like, I'm not
Oh
about
yeah,
to
it's the
even.
animated one,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wanted to saw that. I was like, I'm not about to waste
yeah.
my
So
time.
people don't realize that all the Transformers movies tie into each other. But of course, they're not strict about their timeline. So sometimes they don't make sense in when you compare them to the old movies. It's like, wait a second, how does that happen if it's weird, but yeah. Michael Bay is a popcorn movie guy.
Yeah,
He
Michael Bay
makes
know what to do
he
to
makes
make us
movies that
sit
make you
there.
cheer. People cheer during Michael Bay movies.
Yep, we
Michael
did.
Bay makes the heroes heroic.
Right.
The heroes are heroic, and the thing is this: not only they're heroic, they're usually you feel good. Michael Bay movies are almost like propaganda. You feel good about America watching Michael Bay movies.
Heck yeah.
You realize in Transformers, we were cheering for that special ops team as they fought the Decepticons, the U.S.
Yeah, yeah, man. We
special
need to
ops team.
stop.
It's there's all
They
the
was over there fighting
flags.
the Decepticons in a pouring country. I
Yeah,
don't care that we blowing up the pyramids. America.
that's right. That's right.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always they find a way to he finds a way to inject the U.S. military and make it patriotic, right? So
Right.
and if you think about it, let's look at all those movies, right? You got the first Transformers, right? Josh Duhamel and his crew for the first
Mm-hmm.
couple, right? And then the Transformers end up working with the U.S. government,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's look at another one, The Rock, not the actor, but the movie with
Oh,
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage, right? What's
Yep.
happening there? A bunch of disgruntled veterans come together, and they're now mercenaries, and they're holding San Francisco hostage with some sort of
Mm-hmm.
what's it called, a biological weapon, right? And it gets patriotic. They send a SEAL team in there too, and then at the end they're gonna drop some ordnance on the island to destroy it. and there's that dramatic scene where Nicolas Cage goes out there to wave them off with the flares, right?
Yep.
And the planes fly overhead and looks like a military funeral. I mean,
I mean, shoot, Bad Boys. It was two black cops
yeah,
fighting against the cartel and drug dealers
and
and winning.
they're foreign. They're foreign. A lot of the bad guys in his movies are foreign. Of course, in The Rock, the bad guys were former American servicemen looking for a payday, right? Of course, led by a guy with tragedy, but that's Michael Bay has a very simple formula that works, right? And quote unquote real filmmakers give him shit for it, but have they made as much money for a theater? Right? What's that?
They wish they can be Michael Bay.
Dude, have they made the kind of money he's made in theaters? Most haven't, right?
Never.
Most of those guys who win Oscars have never seen a movie gross like the Transformers.
Or seen them. Even like Bad Boys. Like I remember like watching the story behind that. Like he put up some of his check to make sure Bad Boys came out, and it was a commercial success. I remember that was like, man, that was a wave when Bad Boys first came out. That was like one of the best movies ever for me.
I love Bad Boys. It was a movie for. It's a movie for young males. Think about it. I mean, like you guys know the things that I like. Like what are my hobbies? Right? What are the things that I'm into? Right?
I was about to get real ignorant. I was supposed to say smoking, shooting.
No. Say it.
Cars.
Dude, like
cars and business.
I smoke fine. So I'm really into cigars and whiskey. I love cars. Right? Okay, guns,
shooting guns,
fashion, clothing. I like jewelry. I mean, like, and all these different. I mean, like, look at that. I mean, like, as a kid in high school, right? All the things that are all those cool macho things. Like, I mean, like, Bad Boys had it all, and it was just a glorious bit of excess. You have a Miami-Dade detective driving a Porsche.
Yeah.
Right. And wearing high fashion clothing and the weapons he was carrying are not department issued. Right. They're expensive, way more expensive than anybody else. Right. And how do they do it? He's a trust fund kid. He's a rich kid who wanted to be a cop. Right. That's how they wrote it in. Right. That's why they were able to. That car in that movie is to this day referred to as the Bad Boy 911.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very specific year of the 911 Turbo that is incredibly valuable. Okay, the last year of the water-cooled... I'm sorry, it's the last year of the air-cooled rear-engine 911s.
That was Michael Bay's My 911 too.
Was that his car?
That was his car.
Okay, there you go. I hope he kept it. So there's that, and it also had that Cobra, okay? That,
oh, yeah.
Two of the greatest cars of the... I mean, like, they have a 911 Turbo up against... It's like a young man's dream.
Yeah.
To watch a 911 and a Cobra, like, basically drag race, right? With guns.
Yeah. I like, our favorite thing we say all the time is like, is you a cop or you a model? That's like, yeah. And like, even like, when you just thinking about that, I was like, man, that ending scene actually did not make any type of sense. No. But it made sense though.
I mean, like it
never happened in real life.
Remember that's the time where the writing room didn't really have consultants, like real cops to tell them how things. I mean, just think about it. Think about the scenes from Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, those are all ridiculous. I mean.
Oh, ridiculous!
Absolutely ridiculous. That's right. But Michael Bay. I mean, think about it. Michael Bay is the kind of like real directors, the same way that real directors, they denigrate superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? Was it Scorsese or was it who was it? Who basically is one of the. It was either Scorsese I think it was Scorsese. Scorsese said that superhero movies aren't movies.
Get out of here, Scorsese.
That's what he said. I mean, like, they're not. Yeah, they're not movies. Like those aren't real movies. That's his thing, right? But this is the thing. So people look down on the Marvel movies. They look down on the Michael Bay movies. And when I say people, I'm talking like artistic directors, like the great directors of our generation, right? Like some of the greatest directors of all time. Like think about it. Who are the great directors? Scorsese is one of them, right? Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese is definitely an incredible director. The dude went
What
to
you gonna say,
Oscars.
Coppola?
Coppola is another one. So let's count up these directors who have like multiple Oscars. Scorsese, Coppola. Who else is in that category? I guess Woody Allen too, but we don't talk about him anymore. But he is.
Yeah.
He's racked up Oscars, right?
Really?
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino, that's another one. I'm forgetting him. Tarantino's another one, right? These are basically they're viewed as auteurs, right? They're
Yeah.
that kind of director. Okay. And
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
these are the kind of guys who win Academy Awards for their studios, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the guys who look at these movies and say, "Oh, these aren't real movies. They're just they're like I don't even know what they would think on them as, right?" But if you sat in on a studio meeting, okay, with all if you sat in with producers, right? Would a producer rather win an Academy Award? Or no, actually, would a young producer rather win an Academy Award? Would a young producer rather produce Avengers Endgame? Okay, Academy Award winning movies. We're talking winning Best Picture. We're not talking about best costume or something like that. We're talking about Best Picture. Endgame made $1 billion. That single movie made $1 billion in worldwide gross, or billion plus. One of the highest grossing movies of all time, right? Producers are paid based on results.
Mm-hmm.
That's a multi-million dollar payday for the people who put that thing together.
Yep.
Okay. Most Oscar winning movies have budgets that are a fraction of a blockbuster.
Yeah. I think the only one who has like big budget movies that be winning Oscars is Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah, James Cameron. And even then, he doesn't make that many movies.
He doesn't. I mean, it's like
Very
I think
limited. And the thing about his movies, like Avatar, was and those are kind of unique standout movies. They're a little bit different because it is an action movie really, but it's just because it's so innovative the way he made it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, Titanic. I still remember Titanic and the wave Titanic had. I still remember. I was in 6th grade, and I remember half the class they was like, "Oh, what y'all want to see? Y'all want to see Titanic or U.S. Marshals?"
Was that the same time?
That was
yeah,
it was.
It was. Wesley Snipes.
I remember because we went to the. That's when City Walk had just built.
That's right.
They was like, and I remember we was going, and they was like, "What y'all want to watch? I want to watch Titanic or U.S. Marshals." Everybody went and saw Titanic. I went and saw U.S. Marshals. Cause I was like, "What? I'm about to watch Wesley Snipes. I ain't about to watch. I don't even know what this movie's about."
You're walking you're walking U.S. Marshals in your head. You're thinking, "Always bet on black."
Yeah, man. I remember when we came out there. I was like, "Dang, that movie was long." I was like, "Man, that movie was good." I still remember that was one of the best movies I ever seen in my life. I wasn't about to watch. And Titanic, we talk about me being narcoleptic, and I have not seen the full Titanic. I always fall asleep during it.
The thing about Titanic,
that's not good.
See, the thing about Titanic, this is a funny thing. So a lot of these Oscar-winning now, they are making longer movies now, but a lot of these Oscar-winning movies, there's a lot of problems that come with it, right? You get some crazy big director, and they have they have final edit. Basically, they control the whole thing because of the director they are. Studio has very little control. If they want to make a 3.5, 4 hour movie, a la Dune, they can, right? And the biggest problem with a 3 or 4 hour movie is that it limits the number of times it can be run in a day.
True.
Which highly impacts ticket sales.
But I ask this: how much lifespan can you have from a viewer watching a 3 to 4 hour movie?
What do you mean lifespan from a viewer?
Are they going to get tired of watching the movie? Because
a
movie that lasts over 2 hours, it gets kind of antsy.
Well, no, it depends. I mean, the reason why they make it so long is that they want to tell a certain story in a certain way, right? And that's why they're the directors they are, right? They have a vision for it, right? But everything aside, it's not the reason why a 3 hour movie is so disruptive to the industry is not because of because I mean I would easily sit through a 3 hour movie.
Really?
Right? Yeah, easily. Yeah, no
I
problem.
can't easily
I
sit
can.
through no.
Dude, you guys have seen me like you guys have seen me sit here in a conversation while you guys have gotten up several times to go to the bathroom. I've never gotten up, right? I can
Right.
hold. I don't have to go, right? But thing is that why it is disruptive is because movies when they're in theaters make money from ticket sales, right?
Right.
If you can't get 5 showings out of a film, then you're not going to make as much money back. Even if all okay, so if your movie is awesome, right? And you can pack your theater every single time. And I've seen it. I've seen movies that have filled the theaters every single showing for the first couple of weeks. I've seen that, right? The more showings it has, the more money it makes. It's not about how many minutes it was up on the screen. It's how many individual showings there were, right?
Mhm.
So the 3 hour movie doesn't get as many showings, and so it makes a lot less money. Now Titanic, so there's a thing they call it having legs. When a theater, and having legs is beneficial to the movie theater itself, not the studio. The longer the movie stays in the theater, the greater the percentage of the ticket sale belongs to the theater.
True.
Okay, so when it first comes out, the theater has a small take in it compared to the studio. So it's almost like an amortization schedule for loans, right? In the beginning of an amortization schedule, the greater part is interest. Principal gets a little bit. As you get towards the end of the amortization period, interest is very, very tiny, almost non-existent, and principal is the entire payment, right? The payment stays the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how a movie is. In the beginning, it's mostly the studio getting paid from the ticket sale. And the longer it stays, the more of that ticket sale belongs to the theater. So that's where Titanic made theaters a ton of money in the 90s, because it stayed in theaters for like a year or longer.
It was like when that day when we went and saw like Titanic was already in the movie theaters for a
Mm-hmm.
while. I still like U.S. Marshals was new,
Mm.
but everything like Titanic was already being ranted and raved about. It was always tons of commercials already.
Yeah.
So it was like I still didn't want to see
It
it.
stayed there forever. So it did event mean like, that's one of those rare instances where a super long movie can make the studio and the theaters a whole lot of money. But you don't see that very often. A super long movie that can stay in theaters for a year, this doesn't happen.
Nah,
Or,
I mean,
or
because
almost,
most of them are like long for no reason.
or even any movie can barely stay in theaters because everything nowadays goes straight to streaming.
Right.
The way things are now, it's very different now. But how we get there? Oh yeah. So when you look at it, when you get somebody like Scorsese versus somebody like Michael Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
The studio, I mean, when it comes to the numbers as an investor, which one would you like? Whose movies get bigger budgets? Right? Michael Bay movies get huge budgets. Right? They're willing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a Michael Bay movie because it'll make billions when it comes out. Right? Same thing with Marvel movies. They'll spend hundreds of millions on those things because they'll make $1 billion when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They would
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, things are changing. Well, because they messed with the formula.
Yep.
Okay? But because studios lost sight of what was important. Studios lost sight of profits.
Yeah.
When a business loses sight of profits, something goes wrong in the way that they do things, right? When you're a business that's there to make money, and especially if you're publicly traded, and your stock is, investors want their investment to pay off. They don't really care that you're trying to make change in the world. They basically, it's like they bought your stock so that they can earn from your stock. They didn't buy your stock to help fund you to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so Disney Marvel has plummeted in quality because they've lost sight of what the fans want.
But you recently said that you saw the Superman movie, right? You said you liked it
That's
though.
not that's not Disney Marvel.
I know that's DC. I'm just talking about serial movies in general.
Yeah,
You said
yeah.
it was good though,
It's
right?
a different direction. It's lighter. It's lighter.
But it be good though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
money.
designed to be pleasing to the moviegoer. You know, some people on the far right of things are still dissatisfied with it.
Mm.
Because that's the crazy part. Some people, I guess, Superman makes a statement that he's an alien, and so they're trying. So people on the far right are trying to link that statement to current political events
Yeah,
about
they were. I
immigration.
heard a lot of people saying that. Yeah,
That's not. I don't believe that that's what it's meant to mean. I don't think that's what it means. I saw it in theaters, and I don't think that's what he meant. I don't really, yeah, maybe he's trying to build. Maybe he's trying to play for empathy, but I don't think that that was specifically. It wasn't heavy handed. It wasn't like I didn't see it that way, so it didn't bother me. If
I
even
mean,
even even if you meant it that way, it didn't bug me because it was ambiguous enough that I didn't feel like I was being preached to.
I feel you. I gotta go see it because it's like I said, man. Like I have arguments with people about. I really like the Henry Cavill Superman.
I do too.
I thought that was the greatest Superman
Yeah,
ever
me
because
too.
I've seen the older ones.
Me too. I think that he was the greatest. I mean, like it was awesome. I
Yeah.
liked the direction that it took. I mean, if you look at comic books, DC comic books especially,
Mm.
I'm making all comic books. There are so many different versions of characters. Like there's so many comic books where Wolverine's the main character, and they're written and drawn by different people.
Yeah.
And same thing with Batman. There's so many different Batman stories that are out there. If you look at the different things that these different writers have had Batman do, there's no way that Batman did all this stuff because he'd be like 300 years old. He did, he did so many things. Like I was watching one, not watching. I was reading one where Batman goes to some small southern town on the anniversary of a crime every year to remind this person who got away with the crime that he knows what happened.
Uh,
Right, dude? How can Batman and there's a bunch of different things like that, dude? Batman's like booked every day of the year, going out there reminding people of what they did. Way
yeah,
too much
that's
stuff,
true.
right?
It's a
I
vacation.
remember what you did last summer.
Yeah, that's what it's like. And so what's crazy is that there's the DC the Henry Cavill version of Superman and that same universe version of Batman. That's the dark, gritty version of those characters, and there are
Mm.
comic books that are like that.
Yeah.
The one that you're gonna go see, the one that's with this Corin Sweat guy, that is the more uplifting, comic-y version of Superman.
Mhm.
The costumes are brighter colored. They're
Yeah,
more comic book looking.
you got the underwear
Yeah,
outside of his
he's got
outfit.
trunks. Like
You're
he's got the underwear
outside.
on the outside. Yeah, I really don't want to see that version of Batman.
What
I
was
don't,
underwear
I
outside?
don't want to see
Yeah, they
Batman with
took
the
that
underwear on
away
the outside.
a while ago.
That's gonna be, oh man. Anyway, so yeah, that's this version of Superman, and it is a fun to watch movie. It is lighter. It's more colorful. The characters are designed to be less powerful. Put it that way. Superman gets his ass kicked a couple different times.
Dang,
Yeah, I mean, the Superman that we're used to is untouchable, right? I mean, pretty much.
he was
if
a god on earth.
if he wanted to, he could fly directly. I mean, I'm assuming this. If he really wanted to, he can get a flying start, like he can fly out to our sun, and just fly full speed and fly through our planet and destroy it. Probably.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
you get the feeling that Henry Cavill Superman could do that, right? Henry
Yeah,
Superman, if he wanted to, he could put the moon out of orbit and screw the planet, right?
yeah.
This
When he told
one's
the general to stop playing games with him, I felt that. I was
yeah.
like, man, you better stop playing games with Superman. You tripping.
This new Superman is way less powerful, and I guess making him less powerful, I guess it makes the threats against him feel more real. Because
Mm.
only limited numbers of people can go toe to toe with the other Superman. Like the
Right.
ones who can go toe to toe with him, they're from his planet, or
Yep.
Oh
or
boy.
it's like Doomsday.
Another dimension.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
another dimension, like a god level. You got to be god level to be able to go up against a Superman, right?
Yeah.
So making him less powerful makes it easier to believe that, like, Mr. Freeze could could even try to go up against him, right?
Right.
So it's not like Batman's a guy in a suit, right? Any supervillain can go up against Batman, right?
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Shoot. Batman caught the fade with Superman. He was kind of on. He was on Superman's behind. He
Well,
wasn't. He wasn't giving. He wasn't. Ben Affleck was not having it.
yeah, and
He was not going down.
that's based on the comic series The Dark Knight. It's called The Dark Knight, or is it Dark Knight Returns? Anyway, I got them here somewhere. And the reason why he can do that is because Superman's weakened anyway. So Superman diverts a nuclear missile, and in the resulting explosion, the sun gets blotted out, and he's weakened, and he's not up to full strength. And on top of that, Batman's hitting him with synthetic kryptonite.
Oh yeah.
So he's weakening him down. He has to take him down a couple notches to be able to fight him, and he's wearing that crazy armor.
Right.
So yeah,
Ben Affleck was ready for him.
that was a fun fight. I got to admit, I enjoyed that. I've been waiting for that for like most of my life, because I had that comic book as a kid, and I'm looking at it. When I say a kid, I must have been 17 or 18. And I'm looking at it going, I'm watching Batman fight Superman. It's like, that's awesome.
Right.
And in the comic book version of that, Batman's wearing the crazy ass armor, and it's powered by the New York City power, by the Gotham City power grid. He's actually plugged into the to the street lamp.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I mean, it's true.
and it is pretty cool. It was cool.
I mean, but I guess one of the things, I mean, we can probably kind of start moving on to health. I think one of the things about the last Superman and even the Batman, they were jacked. They were ripped.
They were.
Like Ben Affleck, like I remember
He
watching
worked.
he was really training to catch the fade with Superman. He was ready.
Yeah.
And then Superman, like Henry Cavill looked like a Superman.
Yeah.
Like he did not look normal. It looked like
he
it
was
was
big.
like,
Henry Cavill's a
why
big dude.
are you cut like this?
Yeah, no, but that's the funny thing. He wasn't cut. The suit helped him to cut. Henry Cavill's just big. He's not all chiseled. By no means is he out of shape or flabby, but he's